But for now, let's move on. I know the board took some actions this month on the child care initiative, which is something we've talked about for a little while now. Let's take a step back there. Let's remind our viewers what this initiative is looking to accomplish, why it's needed, that kind of thing.
Go ahead, Matt.
Well, I've been thrilled to, as we've come on the board, to see all the work that my colleagues have done on this, and certainly Katie and Crystal and Christian have done a lot of work, but accessibility and affordability are two key issues, and if you look just in the analysis that we heard in the last board meeting and over the past month, Arlington's costs are higher and there are fewer slots available than many of the surrounding communities. So I really think, and I think Libby Garvey mentioned, this is sort of a textbook example of the way that things can work when stakeholders engage, when the board leads, just having come together. And I am, this is the first part of a two-step process. It was just the request to advertise this time, but I did think it was a good step forward, and you've been working on it for some time.
Yeah, and we have this initiative that's divided into different phases. So this first phase was really to look at what are the statutory barriers that actually prevent more child care slots becoming available. I mean, we're trying to get at this issue of supply. And, I'm happy to say that we were able to uncover lots of potential capacity to add more child care slots in Arlington, which will help alleviate the waiting lists and people being shut out. Should also help affordability. If you just put more supply out there, you perhaps make it more affordable for all, and it doesn't cost the public a dime. These are zoning ordinance changes.
That's a win-win, right?
It's a win-win. So for this phase one, I'm really thrilled that we were able to get at those structural barriers which were preventing more child care from being available. And this is so important for everybody all through the income ladder in Arlington. People who are lowest income are obviously most affected, but we see this reverberate even to higher income families. And what we see are dynamics where a parent has to be out of the labor force, even though they would like to be in the labor force, because childcare is so expensive. And if we can help with that in any way, we can unlock greater potential for families and for the community.
Okay, so where do we go from here? You said this is just the first phase. What's really the timeline? What are we looking at here?
So I think we expect to see phase two sometime this calendar year in 2019, and then phase three maybe beyond. But.
Yeah, no, that's my sense of it. With the specifics, we'll at our next board meeting we'll be taking up and finishing the process with respect to phase one. But phase two, I believe, is later this year. I think these can be small adjustments in zoning that can change from 9 to 12 students, for example, who can attend a child care facility. But those are very real, and I think what you articulated, Christian, is sort of, and Libby has described it too, this is related to how real economic opportunity can be for families. And so in that way, I'd say it's a sliver of what makes the American dream more possible for more people.
All right. On that note, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll talk about a redevelopment planned for Washington Boulevard, where the American Legion post has stood for decades, as well as an extreme makeover of sorts coming to a Ballston Park. Stay with us.